People say Russell Wilson is corny.
Who's the man saying it?
Mm-hmm. What Channing Crowder said in one.
Yeah, if Russell ain't had that bread, Ciara ain't gonna be with him. Russell Square. Russell Square.
He is the most amazing human being you could know.
Want to go back to, but he's a loving person and a great husband. I didn't say he's not a great husband. He is lame still.
Rivah TV. What's up, guys? It's your girl Rivah, and I'm back again with another video. So, you know, a couple of years ago, Channing Crowder, if you guys might know him from The Pivot, he actually made a statement about Russell Wilson, as we know, who is Ciara's husband, and he basically called him lame.
Yeah, if Russell ain't had that bread, Ciara ain't gonna be with him. Russell Square. Russell Square. Ciara had she has a good situation, but you gonna leave Future and get with Russell Wilson.
And so, kind of recently, very recently, I should say, Ciara actually ended up going on to The Breakfast Club. And it was brought up by Charlemagne of, you know, what Channing Crowder said. And they wanted Ciara's take on, you know, that narrative that is being pushed about her husband.
People say Russell Wilson is corny. Mm-hmm. What's your honest reaction?
Oh my gosh, that I don't have to even reply to that because, you know, like that. Why would I even respond to that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what I know.
And, you know, so even though she said that she didn't have to respond, she did, you know, create a space where she felt like she wanted to, you know, tell the world the type of person that he is and his character and how good of a person he is.
He is the most amazing human being you could know. The smartest, most intelligent Black man that I have ever known.
Now, so again, you know, she felt the need to explain or expose the type of person that he truly is. And, you know, in saying that he's, you know, extremely intelligent, he's super smart, he's the best person that she knows. And of course, Channing Crowder then got wind of the conversation because his name was brought up by Charlemagne.
Well, I think it depends on who's. Wait. Who's the man saying it?
Mm-hmm. What Channing Crowder said in one.
No, we ain't gonna call no name. And so that ends up bringing him kind of like back into that conversation. So I want to actually bring to you guys his response, and we're going to go ahead piece by piece and break it down. I'm going to give you guys my thoughts and opinions on this entire conversation.
I saw it. I did, and I saw it. And then she wanted to go back to, but he's a loving person and a great husband. I didn't say he's not a great husband. It's amazing what he's doing with the Future. Like, the dude is a good human. He is lame still.
Now, I want you guys to keep in mind, this is coming pretty recently after, you know, Russell had commented something on the page and said, you know, Future Wilson, and basically put it out there that he considers, you know, Future's son, that, you know, if you guys are unaware, Ciara had a child with rapper Future. And then when introduced to Russell Wilson and the two of them began dating, Russell basically stepped in and became a father to little Future, as well as, you know, him and Ciara started to have, you know, more and more children. So either he is referring to Future's son as his son and just gives him that last name, or he's, you know, actually changed the last name. I'm not 100% sure. But, you know, we can hear Channing saying like, okay, yeah, he, you know, is doing a great thing. He's a good husband. I didn't say he wasn't, but I'm also not going to say that he is necessarily a cool guy, or that he is, you know, a kind of down kind of guy. He's, you know, considering him lame, and lame in being maybe a nerd, or lame in being like not, you know, street savvy, not a street guy. I believe that's what his definition of, you know, quote unquote lame is.
I don't know if anybody doesn't understand. They're not running me off of this point. Lame is an opinion. She even said it. So who's saying? Because that's their opinion. Yeah, she's from Atlanta. I'm from Atlanta. She wasn't going to date Russ back in 2000.
Now, I think that this is a truth that we do have to talk about, okay? Now, I don't see nothing wrong with Russell Wilson. The only thing that I see, and this is just from my own opinion and my own standpoint, is that I kind of feel that sometimes, you know, men have this idea sometimes, right? In being a good man and being a good husband, that your wife can just do whatever she wants and portray herself in whatever, you know, whatever light in any arena, and you're just letting her blossom and be her own self. And I think that in true leadership, there is a certain level of control. that is necessary that a man should have in regards to his wife, so, mainly for her own protection, her own safety. And I say that just off of the helms of, when the two of them went to that Vanity Fair party, and as much as he is talking about, being a Christian and all these kind of things, her whole booty cheeks was out. And I just can't get with that. That's just, I'll never, that's just my opinion. Okay. That's just my opinion. But other than that, I think that he is a stand-up guy. He seems to be very career-oriented, very family-oriented. He obviously loves his wife. We don't see him out here with any kind of controversy or anything like that. He seems like a stable, structured man. Now, to the point that Channing Crowder is bringing to the conversation, it's something that is very true, right? A lot of women don't immediately go for the Russell. They go for the future, okay? They go through the trials, the problems. A guy that seems kind of dangerous, seems like he's gonna break their heart into a million pieces. Seems like they're playing this kind of like toxic game back and forth, and then majority of the time, those women get pregnant by said man, and then they want another man to come around and somewhat be the cleanup guy.
Doc writes in and said, did Ciara make you wait the way she's making Russell Wilson wait?
Never.
Getting a guy who has kids by multiple different women.
Always had this thing for a rebel.
Future already has 3 baby mamas, so Ciara, hop in line, you'll be like number 4.
Now, I'm not saying 100% that was, her exact idea when she got into that situation. I believe that what happened with Ciara is that Ciara played with fire, got burned, and was like, I'm not doing that again. Okay? Whereas some people repeat the process, I think she was like, I don't need to relearn said lesson all over again. Hence why she got into the situation that she is in and, is with her husband, staying there, having babies with him, and living her life fruitfully. But I don't think that we should be discrediting the point that Channing Crowder is making, that is a lot of realities for that is the truth and the reality for a lot of women. Their immediate guy that they want to be with is usually the bad guy, the rough and tough guy, the guy that's not, going to treat them the best or prioritize them. And then they run from that guy, usually with a baby, in tow, and then want somebody else to come and fix all of the mess or the chaos that was created from their past.
Time came forward. She evolved to dating the lame dude. He is a good person, a good human being, but the dude is lame. Y'all know what lame is? Bro, you know how many people, I'm not putting nobody else in my boat because I'm peddling this by myself. I've talked to a number of people that's like, bro, you're right. He's not like that.
Now, this is the point that I was confused because he's saying like, oh, he's not like that. But like what? Okay? This man has a life. He has stuff to live for. He has stuff that he can lose. He is not going to be out here in these streets, toting the pow and acting like, I got that fa. Like, obviously, why would he want to portray that kind of lifestyle and lose everything that he has already worked for?
Inner city Atlanta dude is not hanging out with Russell Wilson. That's what I'm saying. It's lame. The dude does not. He got that moose in his hair. Honestly, bro, y'all looking around because y'all even know I'm right.
So again, more in the descriptions, it's coming across that lame is in the way that he carries himself, lame in it, like I said, that he's not, in close proximity to the streets. Lame as in he is, dressed a certain way and maybe doesn't necessarily know everything that's going on when it comes to fashion or whatever the case is. Like as in, he's calling him a literal square. So that would mean like just somebody that's just not cool, right? Not in the loop. Does it matter, to be so cool or not cool? Not necessarily. So even if this man's opinion is that, he is a lame or a square or he's not cool, doesn't mean that he should change himself or try to be, anything other than what he is. Again, this is one person's opinion, but also that's just who he is. Now, again, I think that the bigger point that should be made is the fact that, again, that is this guy of who Russell is, and there's nothing wrong with who he is not the guy that any of these women were going for in the beginning. Obviously, the reason why Ciara has Future Jr. is because the guy that she was gunning for, the guy who she thought to be the ultimate guy, was a guy that was like that. A guy who wasn't a square. A guy who was like, you know, in the streets and all that kind of stuff. A guy who had multiple baby mamas. That was the ideal guy for her. How do we know? Because Ciara has gone all this time and didn't have a baby by nobody, had a baby by Future. Was engaged to Future, which means that was her first choice.
Dude is not a cool person, but that's my opinion. Right. You go find the boys that play at Wisconsin and Nebraska, they'll hang out with us. A dude from inner city Atlanta is not hanging out with Russell Wilson.
And again, a dude from inner city Atlanta shouldn't be hanging out with Russell Wilson. Okay? Because Russell got stuff to do. Russell have security. He is not going to be as touchable. That wouldn't even make any sense, to be honest. Do I get what Channing Crowder is trying to say? I do. But at the same time, ain't nothing wrong with being the guy that got something to lose. Ain't nothing wrong with being the guy that doesn't have close proximity to the streets. Nothing wrong with that. At all.
I'm looking at him and saying, man, I know him. He's lame. That's my point. It's opinion. Opinion, lame, cool's opinion. And y'all ain't running me off of this.
Now, again, that's his opinion. I don't think he should change his opinion for anybody. But at the same token, like I said before, you know, the main point that should have been the focus of the conversation should not be Channing Crowder calling Russell Wilson lame. That should not be the main point. The main point of the conversation should be women that talk about they want the Ciara story are not prioritizing men like a Russell. Russell becomes the cleanup guy after men like Future have their way with the women like Ciara. That should be the focus of the conversation. But for whatever reason, people want to divert from that point and just go to the fact that he called this man lame, which is an opinion. Who cares? I don't care if he called Russell ugly, lame, whack, but that's not going to change the money in Russell's bank account. That's not going to change the fact that Russell is, you know, has a beautiful life and family structure. That's not going to change anything. But the broader point that should be out there and should be spoken about more, again, is people like Russell being the cleanup guy, as I said before. I like to know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this entire conversation, opinion, thought process in general. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And I will see you guys in the next one. Love you.
Rivah TV.